So we know new Mortal Kombat content is coming. I know MK fans have been impatient, but Ed Boon has said that he has way much more to show us. We know that the new online stress test is now over by the time this video has come out, and it just kind of leaves, what's next? Well, an insider has possibly teased that a Johnny Cage trailer and a guest DLC trailer is what awaits us. So let's dive in. So this comes from Grace Randolph of Beyond the Trailer. And I'm going to go ahead and just play the clip instead of just kind of paraphrasing what she said. I'm going to play the clip so it's from her words exactly of what she says as far as the tease and kind of give some backstory and kind of dive on into the details.
So I don't know, especially because I don't usually cover Mortal Kombat. I don't know what I don't know. I have to see if it would be worth the time to do it. So I'm going to gauge how things go. I'm going to react to the Johnny Cage trailer because I'll probably have a Jean-Claude Van Damme cameo in it. So I'll talk about that and we'll see how that goes. But with Injustice, it's DC. So I can really cover that very well. Like I didn't do the story mode for Mortal Kombat 11 for a similar reason. However, I will 1,002,000,000,000% be reacting to the DLC because the DLC is very much in my space and I'm excited about it. So that's going to be really great. Well, no matter what happens with the game, when the DLC comes out for Mortal Kombat 1, through the roof.
So that is what she said as far as the tease. Now, if you are familiar with her channel, she covers mostly movie news. She has covered Mortal Kombat and Injustice in the past, and she has interviewed Ed Boon and has had various tweets for many, many years, but even recently, where Ed Boon has commented on her posts and she's commented on his or vice versa. And so they have some type of relationship with each other, in the media world. And so it's very possible that she has some insider scoop knowledge or has sources that have knowledge and knows what's coming. I've talked about in a previous video about her where she kind of debunked as far as Homelander, Peacemaker, and Conan the Barbarian making an appearance in Mortal Kombat 1. She didn't think that was going to happen. And I kind of give her a little bit of credit because I give her lots of credit, actually, because of her relationship with Ed Boon. And, of course, I personally follow her and have been following for a long time. So I trust that she has some knowledge. She could very well be wrong, but I think she wouldn't, especially what she said as far as, thousands of percent that she's knows what's going to be coming and she's excited for it. She didn't seem very excited for Homelander, Peacemaker, or Conan. So it's got to be somebody different. Now, more specifically with the Johnny Cage, Jean-Claude Van Damme trailer, we know that was coming. We said no when, and we didn't know exactly if it was going to be a trailer specifically for him, or if it was going to be another gameplay trailer and have him at the end, which it very well could be because that's what Mortal Kombat tends to do, right? We kind of have like a gameplay trailer again, possibly with maybe some newer characters, and then we have the Jean-Claude Van Damme, or it could be more like Sylvester Stallone Rambo one, where it was just more specifically about him and his interactions with various characters. It very well could be like that. And we know that in recent interviews that happened at Summer Game Fest with Ed Boon, he was asked about the Jean-Claude Van Damme experience, and that a lot of times, in most cases, he did his lines over COVID, and it was all remote. I think he even said it would happen in Hong Kong. So very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to see about how much Johnny Cage actually looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme. If it's just going to be Johnny Cage in the Bloodsport outfit, or more like the original Mortal Kombat outfit, or if it's legit going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme in face and all that kind of good stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Now, the bigger question I think on here is the guest DLC, because if it's not Homelander, Peacemaker, or Conan, who could it be? Now, given the history of Mortal Kombat and some of the past DLC characters, and those have included Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, John Rambo, the Joker, Kratos, Leatherface, Predator, RoboCop, Spawn, the Terminator, and the Xenomorph from Alien, we kind of have a theme here as far as comic book characters, horror movie icons, and then we also have like kind of sci-fi action video game characters, or even, action heroes, that kind of thing. So all very kind of in the same space that would, be really good to have in a Mortal Kombat game. So I decided to kind of go over a list, and some of these characters have been familiar and have been talked about in the leaks that we talked about years ago with the Mortal Kombat 11, kind of combat packs we thought we were going to get. But these are kind of more silly Warner Brothers IPs because, I found Bloodsport is actually a Warner Brothers movie that Warner Brothers worked on a long time ago in the 80s. So Van Damme is a character for that belongs to Warner Brothers, so it makes sense that he'd be in this game. Same thing with Peacemaker. I'm not sure if Conan is. It might be. That one might be MGM, but Homelander right now is with Amazon. But anyways, so I have a list that I've compiled of characters that we could possibly see be in the game, and given how the content that Grace covers, I think a few of these might be kind of what she's referring to, but it could be something totally off. But I have a feeling some of these could be in there. So I have Annabelle from the Annabelle series, the Conjuring series. I've got Pennywise the Clown from It. I think he has been teased multiple times in past leaks, so or at least hinted at. So maybe we'll actually finally get him. I think that would be a character that could be really cool, and I think there's some cool moves and fatalities. Like Pennywise could be one. We have Godzilla, and if we have Godzilla, you have to have Kong. I think those are two characters that would be really, really interesting, and I'd be kind of curious how they interact with other characters. I guess you're kind of looking at more of like a Goro Ferrator, really large characters in that sense. In addition to, Annabelle, we could have the Nun. Maybe we need to get full scary. Let's go full horror. The only comic book character we have on here is Batman. And that's kind of because, well, we got the Joker, so why not Batman? But I think given that we've had Michael Keaton in The Flash, we supposedly have a new movie that Andy Muschietti's going to possibly direct, or be a part of. It's the Batman Brave and the Bold. We still have the Matt Reeves Batman. Batman just seems to be a popular character in WB animation, gaming, and movies, so why not have him make an appearance? We could have Neo from The Matrix, because The Matrix is a Warner Brothers IP. We could have Mad Max. That'd be Mel Gibson. He could be in there. We could have Perseus from Clash of the Titans. That's possible as in the 80s. We could have Rick Deckard from Blade Runner. That was Harrison Ford. Probably think that's less likely because it's Harrison Ford, but he could be in there. These are kind of off the wall ones, but put the Martian from Mars Attacks, maybe? It did, in that movie, some zany things happen, and so why not have the Martian? I could see him doing some crazy things to characters. I don't know that fans really like that edition, but it's possible. And I know that one that has been thrown around, it's happened in animation, so why not have it in the game? Shaggy. We know that he is in multiverses, and he did his kind of, the Super Saiyan Shaggy, or whatever you want to call it, the Ultra Shaggy. Anyways, he could be in this game. I don't know if that's what fans would want. I think he kind of fits more in that multiversus realm, but it's possible he could be in here. So I think from this list, if I kind of had more like to earmark some maybe definites, I would say Pennywise. He already deals with blood. I think that's one. Possibly Godzilla and Kong. The Nun. Maybe. Neo. And Mad Max. So I think those 6 are probably more of our candidates that could possibly be a guest DLC in the game. Now, given the past, let's see, we had Rambo, Joker, and RoboCop and Spawn and Terminator, so that's 5. And then, so it's about 4 to 5 guests. So that would kind of fit the list, I think. That would be kind of good. So then the next question would be when would we expect to see a trailer? So we have Comic-Con coming up on July 20th. Now, I don't know if we're actually going to get anything because of the writer strike going on. A lot of the studios are pulling out. That doesn't mean it won't have any content at all at Comic-Con, but it just may be stuff that's already been around. And there is some of a gaming presence there, so it's possible that we could have something, there. There was that rumor going on about June 23rd. Well, that's coming on. So I don't think anything's going to happen with that. And then, of course, the next big date would be EVO on August 4th. So I don't know if they'll do something at Comic-Con and then something at EVO, or if they'll do something sometime in July and then, of course, something at EVO. But what do you think about Grace's thoughts on supposedly teasing a Johnny Cage trailer and a guest DLC trailer? What do you think about Homelander, Peacemaker, and Conan for sure not being in any type of future DLC? Do you think they will still make an appearance? And what do you think about the Warner Brothers IPs that I mentioned? Of those characters, who you think we could possibly see in a future DLC pack? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. That's it for this video, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.